I don't have any planned thoughts that I am going to speak on. My planned idea is the year 5775, and what makes Yishmael the major figure in that year is that Yishmael is in Gematria 775 when fully spelled out. That means Yud is 20, Shin is 360, and so on. 775. That means that this year the focus on our activities and the focus in the world will be with Yishmael. And it will be with Islam and the Arabic nations and Yishmael in general, whatever it means to Judaism. As I was turning on the video here, I was thinking that Hagar, the mother of Yishmael, the Gematria is 208. And by a strange coincidence, the Gematria of Yitzhak is 208. So there's some relationship between Hagar and Yitzhak, the mother of Yishmael, has a direct relationship to Yitzhak. One of the things that comes to my mind, and this has to be explored, I'm really only saying these things, I'm not really, this is like Sikos and original thought, like improvisation. That Yitzhak, they say, was born with a woman's soul. This woman's soul was part of Yitzhak until the Akedah. And then he developed the masculine soul. And it's in these years that Yitzhak had this direct relationship with Hagar, the 208 relationship of the woman's soul. And this is his link to Yishmael. So this is a direct thing that was said that that Yitzhak was born with a feminine soul. Now, where does that feminine soul come from? That feminine soul also happens to have some direct relationship to the letter Hey that was given to Abraham before he had Yitzhak. And that had to go through time to reach the Aleph of the Hey. This Aleph of the Hey is the sixth level of the soul, the Etzem level of the soul that is in the womb. The real level of man is found in the womb. The 1 year spent in the womb. And that's why it's so important to have good thoughts. The mother has to have good thoughts, good food, kosher food, good emotions, a stable environment. She should stand in front of places of learning, learn herself a little bit, be pure. Because that year in the womb is when the child's etzem level is developed. The sixth level that comes before birth. Before birth. is when the etzem level comes. Not after the Yehida, but previous even to the Nefesh coming out that first year. And in a certain sense, that this is a very big deal. That the etzem level is developed within the womb. Another thing that I work on is how the relationship of the tibor, the umbilicus, and the belly button as an unconscious factor in later life. And to get in touch with that etzem level, one must go through the belly button and his relationship to the umbilicus, which was also considered to me a kav. I had earlier some gematria for etzem. Let's just do it now for fun. This is all, for me, live. I have no telos here, no goal. So etzem is iron, 130. Zadig is 204. So that's 334. And mem, that's 80. That's 414. Now 414 just happens to be the gematria of Or Ein Sof. That's 207 for Or and 207 for Ein Sof. So the etzem level is actually the Or Ein Sof level. It's the fetus in the womb. For me, it's the etzem level of the soul, and that's where it's most touched by Hashem. Is in the etzem level. It's in the Or Ein Sof. When the Or is attached to the Ein Sof, not as Or only, but Or Ein Sof. Now this 414 is another word that shows up. It's not the question of prevalent, but shows up as a star. It's the first word of the Shema, V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. V'ahavta itself is 414. This, and thou shalt love, which is a big deal because love is the whole idea of Kabbalah. It's the whole idea of the mysteries. This is all a tantra. It's a tantra between the aleph and the hey. The hey being the feminine, the multiplicity within spatial reality of the aleph, which is a unit, a singular, masculine. The aleph is found in the middle of the five of the hay. 5 fingers in the center palm spot. And one should actually rub that, almost like rubbing the center of the belly button for psychic development and to enter into psychic worlds. So Vahavta, which is also Ein, or Ein Sof. The beautiful concept of how to enter into these worlds. So now we have Yitzhak, related to Hagar, and that's his relationship to Yishmael, and how the entire relationship of his in the womb And as I said in the previous video, that the hay of Abraham was always within him, even when he was Avram, because he had that in the womb, and it was a teshuvah, a teshuvah to the hay, teshuv to the hay, which was always there, and all our potentialities are there with us in the womb, and it's up to us to manifest them in the reality, the physicality of daily life. Because as you know, a malach comes, an angel comes and taps the fetus on the upper lip before he comes out of the womb, and he forgets all the Torah that he was taught in the womb. And so everything here is a relearning of Torah, a relearning of what we already know, making conscious what is unconscious within us, which is the Freudian opus and the Hegelian opus. And so one has to consider himself within the womb, where that's the stomach. And so I ask for us to do breathing into the stomach. Make our stomachs like the Buddha stomach, large. Fill our stomachs with air. Get a sensation back into the sensations that we don't have, into the umbilicus, into the T-bore, to the belly button, the most unconscious place in the body, which is also considered the center of the world, the foundation stone, the axis mundi, and all these things. And how do we relate to this? And that's what we're going to go forward on this year, because this is the year of 775 and Yishmael. And Yishmael is related to Avraham and Avram, and his relationship to Yitzhak, and the relationship to the Akedah, and the relationship to the receiving of the masculine soul. For Yitzhak originally had a feminine soul. And how did this occur? And what this means to us today, and how we deal with Yishmael, how we deal with the Islamic people, and how we deal with them has to be through Avraham, through the Sephira of Hesed. This we will go on to, but this is some of the musings that I've had, and some of the just spontaneous thought. After having played spontaneous music, I come here with an open mind. I've prepared myself for these few words, and I'll go from there.